I'm going to introduce our next speaker, Pedro, Rhode, Sales Executive at Nedbank. Pedro is an accomplished sales and service executive with over 24 years of experience in the financial services industry. His previous roles at head office included sales and service strategy for Nedbank, integrated channels within the retail division, managing a diverse portfolio that includes marketing, communication, and group collaboration. Last but not least, his strategic oversight spans branches, call centers, and alternative channels, supporting key segments such as banking, private banking, and small businesses. Over 2 decades of experience. We're talking about an expert. He's with us in the building to come and share his knowledge and empower township entrepreneurs. Ladies and gentlemen, let's show some love. The T love, the Khayelitsha love. Let's put our hands together one more time for the one and only Pedro Rhode. Come on, Khayelitsha. Come on, Khayelitsha. Come on, Khayelitsha. 24 years of experience right here with us in the building. Pedro, thank you so much for joining us. The platform is yours, sir.
Guys, let's give our amazing MC a round of applause. Good morning. We want to hear you guys. Goeiemorgen. Moweni. We South Africa. Sani Bonani. Di Macheroni. Avasheni. And guys, I'm a brother from Elsa's River. Away. Away. Guys, my heart is full. You know, standing here today, I'm extremely humbled to be amongst the future leaders of South Africa, the future leaders of South Africa. The future leaders of South Africa. And as the MC has said, current and future? Current and future? And guys, I was at a Ubuntu breakfast on Wednesday, and our economist spoke to us. Be grateful for the positive trends in the country. Be grateful. But we challenge our government, our municipalities, to create an environment for small business to thrive. The municipalities with government must enhance the policies and reduce the red tape. And be grateful for the trends. Guys, do you know our economy is growing by 1%? But the population is growing by 3%. Unemployment in the country is about 32%. And in the Western Cape, around about 22%. But the future, as our esteemed Group Managing Executive, Dr. Thomas shared, small business is the future. And that's why my heart is full in terms of the 10-year celebration of Join Us for Tea and what you guys are doing to grow entrepreneurs. A little bit about my journey about resilience and failures. I come from Elsa's River, the Cape Flats. And I didn't have big dreams. And one day, a teacher told me, I'll never go to university. And maybe I was naughty, maybe I didn't study hard. But I believed at that time I wasn't good enough. I'm sure all of you got a story that somebody didn't believe in you. Right, and that immediately imprints that you're a failure. But I'm a Boy Scout too, and I was blessed to go on a jamboree to Australia in 1987. Only 8 people of color out of a group of 187. And this was in the apartheid era. And spending 6 weeks with my fellow scouts, I realized that I might be from Elsa's River, but I'm grateful for my parents and the education I had. We call it gutter education then. But I made the most of it. And a lady on the plane back shared with me, she's an angel. I told her my story. And she said, Pedro, you are university material. And I believed her. I applied at UCT, but I was rejected. That was my first hope, you know. I didn't apply anywhere else. But I'm grateful for Bush, University of the Western Cape, embracing me. And today I've studied 4 degrees, studied at Stellenbosch University, my MBA. I've studied at Gibbs. I was blessed to go to INSEAD. But I've made education my lifelong journey, and today my degrees might be history, but I make learning a focus every day. When I was doing MBA, I reflected on what is the biggest challenge in the country, and this was around about 2003. And it was that of access to finance for small business. That was my dissertation. My dissertation was access to finance. And I really appreciate it. Can we give those that pitch a round of applause? You know, you're going to be like a 100-meter winner in South Africa, right? But I can promise you, for me, it is like a 100-meter race. It is so close. You all are out there in my final notes. You all are winners. So give yourself a round of applause. I applied for a role for marketing at Spoornet, and I was rejected. And I was disappointed. I wanted to go into marketing. And to get into Spoornet, I took a role in operations research. Not knowing the journey, a different journey in operations, allowed me to understand the company. And can you believe it? Eventually, when I was in marketing, in a sales role, I was a customer manager. I won the CEO award. So sometimes you get rejections, and as our esteemed MC has shared, it opens other doors. So I went the corporate route, and I won the award. But 3 months later, we were called into 2 boardrooms, all the account managers and customer managers. The room I was in, I was told I got a job. The room my other colleagues was in, they told him they don't have a job, and took the cell phones, laptops, office keys. And I looked on the walls, and I saw the values of the organization. And I told myself, I don't belong here. Because you can go through organizational change, but it's how you do it. And hence the reason I landed up at the Rhode Bank. And this somebody believed in me, got no banking background. But somebody appointed me as a sales manager in merchant services, point of sale. I was the first non-white in a role like that in the year 2000. A month later, the regional manager got promoted, and they promoted me as the first regional manager. I worked hard, and what I did is, my first appointments, I appointed 2 graduates. You know, when you're a student, and you got a degree, and you're looking for a job, they ask for experience, am I right? So I made sure I'm going to appoint 2 graduates, and I'm going to personally develop them. And that's why when I was listening to the pitches, the jobs that you guys are creating, you are giving somebody an opportunity, and you're growing and developing somebody. So I'm nudging you, appoint with potential, but groom people for the future. And that stuck with me, you know. And I think I was very blessed to grow in the corporate environment. And then I was headhunted by the Green Bank. And I love the Green Bank, guys. I've been there since 2008. And when I got to the Green Bank, we banked province at that time. And I partnered with the guys, how are we going to bank the city? And every 4 years, we lose the city. But we never gave up. How many of you bank with Nedbank? Can I see a show of hands? So thank you for paying us salaries. Thank you. Give yourself a round of applause. But when I came to the Green Bank, you know, we were seen as the bank more like the bank of the Gulf Sun City. Can you guys remember back in the days? But we now sponsor the Kiona Cup. Kiona, #1. Any chief supporters in the house? I'm a cozy. Congratulations. But on the journey with the Kiona Cup, Nedbank invested in the townships. We've got 3 branches here in Khayelitsha. No other competitor. 3. And we're very proud to partner with community. We are very proud to partner, join us for tea, to uplift communities and to make a difference. And because we invested in communities and partner, we banked the city now. We banked Parliament. We banked the Convention Centre. We banked Robben Island. Because we know at Nedbank, what is good for community is good for Nedbank. So the point I wanted to make is there was a lot of failure on the journey as a corporate. We couldn't get the accounts. But you need to continue to persevere. Because what does failure does? They tell you you're not good enough. But you must continue to work hard. And people will notice the good you are making in community. And what I didn't see in the pitch, Mr. MC, that I would like you guys to bring into the question, it's about purpose. You know, God has given us a gift to make a difference. And I heard that in the pitch, how are you making a difference? But it's about purpose. Because the purpose for us here in these communities is, how do we make this a better life for all of us? And if you are bringing your offering to community, you are making a difference in community. If it is from a courier service, if it is from a value chain, from the poultry that you're providing, if it is from a clothing point of view, your purpose is to make a difference. And when you vibrate with purpose, things happen more for you. Yes, you must make profit. That's a given. You must make the profit. But it is about your motive of making a difference. And I think that context is where we want. But I want to tell another personal story of where I felt the biggest failure. Was actually when I got divorced in the year 2006. I felt that I wasn't a good enough role model. And I take ownership of that. But what I realized, what I want to leave you with, I went to a Catholic priest because I felt very low. And he told me, Pedro, the #1 thing you must focus on is loving yourself. Loving yourself. Because when you have failure, you think you're not good enough. Am I right? But you need to learn to love yourself and bounce back. And the other thing he said, as a Christian, God loves you. God loves me. And whenever I feel failure, or whenever I feel rejection, I always think about God and that I'm not alone. And I'll get through that. The second thing is that what I've done is, and what I invite you to do is, share your challenges with somebody close to you and get help. Connect with people and get help. As a banker, you know, I know for a fact when I was in Johannesburg and I was in the line in Johannesburg, and especially in COVID, how tough it was for small business, how tough it was for entrepreneurs and corporates. And sometimes, late at night, I think I will send me an email, Pedro, why can't we help this client? And one of my saddest days, or many sad days, is when I feel I cannot help you because of our policies and procedures and our banking criteria. And on a personal level, I will apologize if I can't help you. But as the MC has shared, there's many ways you can problem solve a complexity. And I want to share a story to close out about my friend Yats Kopel. You can check him out, Kopel Consulting. So I went the corporate route. When we did the MBA, Yats went the entrepreneurial route. And Yats consulted with business, and he had many other businesses, and he failed often. He made a lot of money, and I saw I failed sometimes. But that's always bounce back. And the value you must live is the value of resilience. It's the value of grit. That you can get something wrong because it can go wrong. But the role model that I saw in that is the resilience. And the other best practice I can share with you, that's he dreamed big. He told me, Pedro, I'm going to be a billionaire. He told me that 5-6 years ago. And I believed him. And he wrote his vision down. It's important you write your vision down, and you manifest your vision, and you work towards your vision. And today, Yats is a billionaire in projects. Today, he rides eight sports cars. He's got 2 McLarens. He's got a Maserati. He's got recently a Ferrari. He flew to Katu one day and he said, hey, he can't fly to Kimberley, and then to Katu, he decided to buy his own airplane. So it can happen, guys. I invite you to dream big. Coming back to myself, my journey is, there's been a lot of pain in my life, in business, in my personal life. There's been many failures, there's been many rejections. But I always anchor myself to my values. I always anchor myself to my values, and I always anchor myself back to my purpose. And those pains motivated me always to be a better husband, a better parent, a better leader, a better businessman. And every day, today I've learned from you. And every day I strive to learn and to continue to reinvent myself, to live my purpose. What is my purpose? Firstly, one of my purposes is to vibrate with love. Right? Because everything is about love. And in the business world, it's about connecting people for opportunities. So you can come and chat to me if there's opportunities I can connect you for. Because I like to network and connect people for opportunities. And lastly, got my colleagues here, is to unlock this. Bush is presenting here, filming here, right? But it's to unlock talent. I mean, I've seen how she grew and went through the journey of Nedbank. She's a senior market manager. Give her a round of applause. But my role is to unlock and activate people's talent. So I'm very humbled and grateful here representing Nedbank. But you guys are the stars. You guys are the winners. Continue to believe in yourself. Continue to have the desire for what you have. Continue the determination. Continue the dedication. Continue to have discipline and good habits. And continue to believe in yourself. I thank you.